Question 5. Which of the following is the value of inverse sine of A given that A is greater than pi and less than 3 pi over 2? This is an alternative algebraic solution to question 5 from the 2023 Mathematics Extension 1 HSC examination. In an earlier solution that I've published, I used a geometrical or a graphical approach to find the value of inverse sine of A, given that the domain of A is from pi to 3 pi over 2. Basically, I'm going to reframe the question as find the range of the composite function y equals inverse sine of A, given that the domain is A is greater than pi and less than 3 pi over 2. What I'm going to do is decompose this composition into two separate functions. So I'm going to let y equal inverse sine of u, where u is equal to sine of A. So I can represent this using two function machines. In the first function machine, we put in an input a from pi to 3 pi over 2 into sine of A, and this machine, sine of A, will output values as high as 0 but as low as -1. In other words, if I substitute pi into sine A, we get 0. If I substitute 3 pi over 2 into sine A, we get -1. So I've left it in that order. So it corresponds to the order of the inputs. Now this output gets fed into this function machine here. So I'm going to feed into this machine values of u as high as 0 but as low as -1. And let's see what outputs we get from inverse sine of u. So if I substitute 0 for u here, inverse sine of 0 is 0. If I substitute -1 for u here, as an output we get negative pi over 2. So the idea is to transform this domain, a greater than pi and less than 3 pi over 2, such that the interval that a lies within is in this interval here, between 0 and negative pi over 2, since that is the range, or within the range, of the inverse sine function. So let's concentrate on this inequality here. We have a is greater than pi, less than 3 pi over 2, and we want it to look like this inequality here. The first thing we can do to transform it is to subtract pi from all three terms of this inequality. So pi minus pi is 0, a minus pi is a minus pi, and 3 pi over 2 minus pi is pi over 2. But we want negative pi over 2, not positive pi over 2, to correspond to negative pi over 2 there. And the way we can do that is to multiply each of these terms by -1 to turn this pi over 2 into negative pi over 2. Don't forget to switch the direction of the inequality signs. Now 0 times -1 is 0. A minus pi times -1 is pi minus a. And pi minus 2 times -1 is negative pi over 2. And we can express the inequality in this way here. That is, pi minus a is greater than negative pi over 2 and less than 0. Therefore, the answer is option B.